Hello everyone, welcome. Hillbilly here today. I've got this little leather plaque. I started it a day or so ago. I had embossed some letters on the front of it that says Cobra Class 4. It's on a project that I'm doing, and I thought I'm going to stain it and I'm going to apply some resist to it so that I can get a certain look to it. And I thought I'd share with you today. We're going to use some antique gel from Tandy. I'm going to use either block out resist or possibly some super sheen. And we're going to apply it in some different areas on here to give us a whole different effect whenever we do the antiquing to it. So hang in there now, we'll get started. We've got some Eco-flo block out resist. This is actually supposedly what they designed for this type of application that I want to do. I'm going to use this. I've got some just cheap little brushes that I had picked up from one of the little art supply places. Basically, you got to keep this, well, you got to shake it. And when you do store this kind of stuff, you want to make sure that it doesn't do any kind of freezing. Anyway, what I want to do is I want to apply it to the outside of this border all the way around, and then I'd like to try to apply it to all the letters. And then what I'm hoping to get out of it is that all the letters and numbers and stuff, and then the outside border will be light. And then I'll take some gel antique, this is a mahogany in color, and we'll apply that over all of it, allowing a lot of it to get in like the stitching groove and all the deeper grooves around all the letters. So let's get started. This is I've only used it a few times, and we're going to end up applying a few coats of this, or at least a couple coats. Now try not to get it on the edge, because eventually, once I get a lot of this finished, and I'm a southpaw, once I get this finished, I'd like to turn around and put an edge coat, like a black or a brown, on the outside when I get ready to do burnish the edges of this. This is a little plaque that I had embossed here not very long ago. You'll see a video online there of it actually being done. And I'm not sure if these are the actual brushes I probably should be using or not be using. Maybe somebody can give me a comment. I see so many people, they just use regular old brushes. Doesn't sound like anything special. This stuff seems to be a little bit thick. Not sure if it's supposed to be. What this will do is it'll put a coating in here, so when I do apply the gel antique, it doesn't saturate into the leather at all. Well, it might some, but not very much in these locations that we apply this. And that's what we're hoping. We want to kind of keep that leather look, but yet seal it. Looks like it takes it in really well. Absorbs it. Trying to get it out there. I've had a few cups of coffee today. Alright, we'll get started with the inside. I probably should have did the inside first, actually. Well, I guess that's probably what I should have did. And I'm going to apply it in this larger area first, because I've got quite a large sized brush here. Got a smaller brush here that will start working some of this smaller areas here. You want to make sure you fill your brush with this so that you have more to flow here. I don't think these brushes are loading up very good, so they're probably not actually the best brush for this. I know you use a longer kind of brush. See, this one's probably filling up a little bit more than my wider one. We'll do these edges here, so make it a little faster. I'm by no means an artist, so make sure you get something pretty decent here for a backing too, because you'll make quite the mess. I get like a freezer paper. It's got a wax backing on it, and it always seems to work pretty good. If you're really worried about it like soaking through it, put a couple layers down. As you can see, I have did some dyeing, leather dyeing on this one here once before. You can use it several times. Probably should have got a new one for the video. Yeah, there you go. Hope my head isn't in the way here. I'm trying a new camera pod of some sort here to get a little different direction for my videos. As you get the idea here, we're just going to go through and we're going to put this block out resist on all of them. And you can see that it's going to take me a little time here. Alright, here it is. I went ahead and did a single coat on everything around here. Used a little hair dryer to dry it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and start a second coat. And this time around I'm going to do the inside here first. And we'll start a second coat just so that we have a good seal on all of this. This stuff here, which is called Block Out Resist by Tandy, I got this some time ago. I don't use it a whole lot. A lot of times I'll use Super Sheen, but this seems to be kind of a thick. Maybe that's why a lot of other people will use Super Sheen, because it's maybe a little thinner. And anyways, you'll just kind of get it to flow, get a good coat all the way around it, on all the area or the surface that you don't want any of your, whether it be antiquing gel or dye. You can use like a pro dye from Phoebe's, and whatever it might be that you're using, whether it be a dye or a gel, antiquing gel. Just give it a good coat, because this is going to seal the leather again, like I said in the previous. This here is going to seal the leather so it doesn't really absorb any of the dye or gel. You don't have to really worry too much about getting into the corners or down into the cracks. Just the main part is up on the top, because you're going to want, especially if you're going to use antiquing, you're going to want it to get down into the lower cracks to give you that look of the darkness down in the lines, the deep lines and stuff. I just kind of, because I can see that this is a little thick, I just kind of work it out a little bit, is what I'm doing to kind of get it even. Excuse me, got something in my throat. Yes, and you can see that this was embossed basically. I have a video online. It's embossing leather with the Craft Tool Pro Press. Go check it out if you're interested in embossing some leather. It's quite the press. But I used just some alphabets. These, the top ones up here that say Cobra, are all the 1 inch. And then the lower ones down there that say Class 4 is the 3/4 inch. And that's online right now. So, and then shortly, after we get this plaque done, you'll see another project that I had started. I've yet to finish it yet. Here shortly. But that's what this plaque will be going on. I'm calling it a plaque. I don't know, sign, plaque, what you might call it. It'll turn out nice. So many things that you can do with leather. You could take some paints, like an acrylic paint or Koval paints, or other dyes actually, and be doing it. You could be painting these leathers if you chose to, and then did an antique over them also. It's just your own personal preference, that whatever that you might like. This is a, well, it says it cleans up water and soap. Yeah, I finished up the second coat. Using a hairdryer here just to kind of speed up the process. Don't want to get it hot or anything. I just kind of keep the airflow over it. It's real warm. It's 2 good coats of that block out resist, or the block resist. Alright. What I'm gonna do, I've got some jail antique here, and it's a mahogany in color. We're gonna apply that. Let's go ahead and, oh yeah, good and thick. It's a good idea to get some rubber gloves when you get into this dyeing kind of stuff with the dyes. You can go to different Walmarts or different places and pick up some cheap ones. Anyways, I'm going to use a dauber. I'm going to put a little bit in this, well, maybe a little bit in my little container here. As you can see, it's a gel. Antique gel. Well, I'm going to use this dauber, a little wool dauber. We're going to just put it all over here. Give it a good coat. Work it right down into those little crevices and cracks. So as you can see, we can get them right down in there. This is where it's a real good idea to, again, have your paper here. Work this stuff in there. Let's hope this works like we planned on it. Alright. We'll move this stuff to the side. Got a little bit on my hands here. Let some of that set up. And then I'm going to get a paper towel here. And then we're just going to kind of start wiping that dry. Or clean of all the big stuff. You can see it coming up here pretty good. Gets a clean one here, and I like putting just a tad of water on it. We're going to kind of buff this out. Get all that antique off the top of it. There you go. And just keep, I got a little water on there because I want that to be a little cleaner on the outside. And you just keep working it until you feel that you've got it where you want it. It will lighten up some because when it dries. Again, I used a mahogany antique gel on the top of this. Okay, get us a dry one here, and we'll start. We'll buff some of that out. We'll buff it again after it gets more dry. And as you can see, that resist worked well. Again, once we get this dry too, we'll put a finish coat on this also. So now it's got an antiquing look to it. It's all lighter. We got a little dark spots in there, but a lot of that will turn around and dry. And if not, it gives it that antique look. Here again, we choose to speed the process up a little bit. We can turn our hair dryer on. I'm going to put that on low. That'll speed it up a little bit. Yeah. Look at there. That's exactly what I was wanting. Now you'll see the little groove that's on the outside of this. This will get stitched to actually something. So that's my stitching groove. This gives it like the older, again, antique. There you go. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, I want to burnish my edges. Yeah, it's still a little bit dark in certain areas here. But that's alright. That's the look we're looking for. Alright, to do some of my burnishing, I'm going to use some just clean water, and I'm going to put it on the edges here with this dauber. And I've got a bone folder here that I'll use for burnishing also. And I just kind of put a little bit of water through here, and I hold it, and I'll just slick this baby back and forth here, give them a little bit of a run those fibers down in there as much as we can. I don't know if you can see that. It just takes the fibers and knocks them right down. I just use, there's so many different procedures out there that people use. I found using a little bit of this water. Sometimes if I'm having a problem getting it slicked down where I want, I'll use a little bit of that gum track. I might actually do that on here too. I'm not sure. But once this dries, I'll use a little bit of edge coat, just to give that appearance of being a little darker on the outside of the leather there. It's all in what you want, the color or how you want it to turn out. I will take a little bit here down this side. I just do a little bit at a time. I don't saturate it. Just keep working those fibers down until you get it to where it's nice and smooth. Some people spend a lot of time on this. Actually, the more time you spend on these edges, the nicer it actually turns out looking. And you just kind of keep looking at it and see if you got the fibers worked down where you're satisfied with it. It's all that matters. I have one of those Coca-Cola slickers that I put in a Dremel. Got a couple that I put in drills and stuff. For some of the smaller stuff like this, I don't even bother. I just do this, and it's kind of more of a hand finish with it. Let's see. I can see. Can you see those little edges down through here? Whereas those look a lot smoother. There you go. See the edges, the fibers still sticking up? We'll continue to work our way right around through here. A little bit of that water, and it doesn't take much to get some of that down. Now once we get our edges slicked down with this water, and the edge is actually dry, if it looks good enough, what we'll do is we'll put some edge coat on there. If not, we'll use the gum track. Alright, it's all dry. There you go. So look. And as I was looking at it after it dried, I don't think I'm going to do anything more to the edge. I know, or to the burnishing on part of the edge. I know I said something about maybe putting a edge coat, like a brown or a black edge coat on it. I don't believe I'm going to do it on this project. The reason being is this is going to lay on a piece of material that all this is going to actually blend in pretty good. But now that it's all dry, I do like how the antique came out. You can see some of the different shades or depths of color in there. And these aren't perfectly all clear, but they look old, which is what my look was for. Now I'm going to apply a finish to the outside of it. I believe I'm going to use this Super Sheen. We'll give it a good shake here. And I'm just going to apply this with a paper towel. I'm supposed to shake this pretty good. Alrighty. Now you can actually use this Super Sheen. Yeah, the top of it here didn't come out like it was supposed to. I'm going to have to take care of that. Alright. Anyways. A lot of people will actually, back to what I was saying, a lot of people actually use this Super Sheen also in the place of this blockout resist. So you could use that if you choose to. I just had that blockout. Thought I'd use it. It does the same thing. Oh. I'm just going to do a nice little now this might actually make it a little lighter too. Just put a few real liberal coats on this. Stuff is sticky. I probably should have my, well, I'm sure I should have my rubber gloves on. And you can see, as you can see here, some of the coloring actually comes off of it. It's been drying for quite a while now. But there you go. Alright, we're back, everyone. There it is, all finished. I've got the clear coat put on it. And this is what it's going to be put on. It's a hair on hide. And then it's going to get mounted onto another project that I have. If you've enjoyed, give us a thumbs up. Thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel. If you've got any kind of comments or any kind of questions, just feel free to put them down below. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you.